general, how guys have responded to the second rivalry, the emotions, and keeping the emotional.
Yeah, we really, I mean, we've practiced pretty much the same way, you know, and we don't want, I mean, we don't need to peak on Wednesday, you know, so I think our guys have done a good job of being in control of the situation. They know what we have to get, you know, what we had to get done yesterday and today, and they've done a good job of that. Game plan's done. So tomorrow morning we'll come out and we'll polish it up and have a good practice.
This is only one in the win or loss column, but doesn't it really carry more weight than just one win or loss?
I mean, it's a rivalry game, you know, and it's a big game for you. It's not just another game. We don't approach it that way. You know, it's fortunate that it is at the end of the season, and so we can approach it the way we do.
What are their plans for tomorrow after practice? How do you maybe not veer off too much from what is the norm, especially with diet and everything else being tomorrow?
That's hard to do when you have Thanksgiving. So what we'll do is we'll get in here early in the morning and we'll have practice early, and they'll get off the field probably around noon or so. And then we'll, you know, have a Thanksgiving lunch, and we'll cut them loose for the guys that are close enough that they can get home, and then they'll all report back for a travel team meeting that evening.
You weigh them when they come back?
No, they'll be smart. They're going to eat good. They need to eat good. You know, it's Thursday. We play till Saturday.
Where is the team right now? Today's your last, I guess, full gear type practice, I guess, in the regular season, or you're at that point. If you go back into August when camp started, where's the team now as opposed to where you maybe thought they could be?
We're really close to where I thought we could be, you know, and it took a lot longer than I thought it was going to take, but I think we've grown up in both fronts, offensive line and defensive line, and that's why we're playing much better ball at this time, I think.
You've had some big hits, you know, with some of the games, some of the defensive performances, and you've had some amazing wins with the late comebacks and everything. What area are you most pleased with how the team has developed? Maybe the intangible, not so much offensive line, defensive line.
I'd say
intangible.
Yeah, perseverance, really. I mean, because they've hung in there to overcome adversity. You know, there's only been one situation during the season where I didn't think we handled it well, but other than that, I thought we handled it throughout the year. Nobody panicked. Everybody just hung together, kept being positive, kept pulling each other along, and then good things happen.
A lot of people have talked about leadership, and it requires you have players that lead. You only have a handful of seniors. How much of that has been incumbent on you and your staff to also be those leaders?
Too much, you know, but we've had quite a few juniors step up, though, and help in that role, too. So that's been really good, and that'll carry over to next year.
When was the game you weren't happy with how they responded to adversity? When was that?
That was the Miami game. You know, I just didn't think we responded like we had in the other games.
But you like the way they responded to what happened down there?
Oh, yeah.
It was the first time to me that I saw them visibly angry, upset after they lost at their performance. But they were disappointed beforehand, but it seemed to be they received that loss a little bit differently.
They did. They were disappointed in the way they approached the game, I think. They really were.
Can you talk about the evolution of Dewan Drennan and Nazir Jones on the defensive line, kind of from those early season struggles to where they are now?
Yeah, I mean, both those kids, you've seen them grow up, you know, in front of you. I mean, Naz was the offensive or the defensive player of the week last week in the ACC and the D-line. I mean, he's really, again, that guy's just coming into his own now. He's getting better and better every week. And then same thing with Drennan. I mean, you know, he's growing like a little puppy. I mean, he's getting older and he feels more comfortable, and he can turn his athleticism loose. You know, he's not having to think all the time.
Is there one reason you could maybe point to for kind of their growth, you know, from earlier in the season to where they are now?
Reps, experience, practice, all those things.
Is Marquise still a better practice player than what he used to be back
Oh,
before?
yeah, he's a better practice player than he used to be.
Like consistently?
Yes. Yeah, he has done he has done a great job with practice. You know, with his energy level, his leadership, the maturity he's shown. I mean, everything. He's done a much better job.
How much do you think that's helped him sort of take this leap in what he's done?
Well,
all the way?
I'm a firm believer that if you want to play good, you got to practice good. I mean, I hadn't been around too many of them that can just kind of mess around during the week and then go in out there and turn it on, on Saturdays. And so, I think that's very important, and I think that's why you've seen him be better this year than he has been.
Some of the guys have said they believe that the Notre Dame game, when it was just Marquise, basically a quarterback, he took more ownership on things, and they've seen his growth more since then. Do you see that same correlation?
I think he's taken it from the very beginning. I don't think he's,
Did it go up a notch at that point because maybe it was more his team?
No, because we didn't change anything. We didn't say that we weren't going to do anything. I mean, there was no change in how we approached it or what we said we were going to do.
From each week, even with regard to
Yeah, I mean, we kept doing what we said we were going to do, and I don't know that there was a point. I think he took ownership at the beginning of the year. I really do. He's playing like he did at the beginning of the season. I mean, it's not like at one point in the year he just all of a sudden started playing really good. I mean, he's been pretty consistent for us throughout the season.
When you look back on August, you see the benefit of the competition that he had.
Oh, no doubt about it. No doubt. I wish like I said then, wish we could have that competition at every position. And if we did, then we'd be a really good football team. Someday we'll get that.
Last one.
Rivalries really carry, special meaning with fans. It seems like you get that. You're not from this state, didn't grow up in the state. How has that you come to be a part of that and really get that the way the fans do?
First of all, I grew up in a town that where there was a big rivalry, and so I understood what it meant for the fans and everybody involved. And then to get here, it's so unique because you're 25 miles away, and so you're around those fans. You're around there's a mixture that you're around 365 days of the year. And so it's very unique, and I think it's pretty cool.
Thank y'all.